citizen and I am an immigrant. What choosing to be an American really means. I am a citizen and I'm an immigrant. Both are true. Both shape who I am, but only one of them come with an oath. And let me say this clearly from the start. When I speak about immigrants, I am speaking about legal immigrants. Those who came through the long, complex paths of visas, asylum, refugee status, TPS, green cards, and eventually naturalization. Immigrant does not mean undocumented. Let me say that again. Immigrant does not mean undocumented. Citizenship does not begin in confusion. This conversation is about those who chose this country through a lawful journey and an oath. In this follow up to the Bigger Than Minnesota episode, I want to talk about something deeper. Not about scandal, but about identity, belonging, responsibility, and what it truly means to choose to be an American. Greetings, everyone. I am Mamay, and this is Independent Voice. Before I begin, a quick note. I'm a bit under the weather today, so my voice may sound different. Thank you for your patience. Today, we're stepping into a conversation that is often avoided, misunderstood, or oversimplified. The conversation about assimilation. You heard me? Assimilation, naturalization, identity, and the American Covenant of Citizenship. So, buckle up, saddle up, let's get into it, shall we? Speaking as an immigrant, many of us come to the United States for different reasons: safety, opportunity, education, refuge from political persecution or affiliation for that matter, or simply the hope of building a better life. But when we become citizens, something profound happens. We're no longer visitors. We are no longer guests. We're no longer temporary residents. We are Americans by choice, by commitment, and yes, by covenant. The oath of allegiance is not symbolic. It is not ceremonial. It is a commitment spoken out loud. A moment when we declare with full intention to accept this nation as our own, to choose its future as part of our future, to uphold its laws, its principles, and the responsibilities that come with belonging here. And the official oath. We go even further. We pledge to support and defend the Constitution and to bear true faith and allegiance to it. This is not poetry. This is a covenant. And it is meant to be lived, not just recited. It is an oath, not just spoken. It is a daily life, and it is to be honored. There is pride in naturalization that is often overlooked. Standing in a room with people from dozens of countries, raising your right hand and pledging allegiance to the flag, that moment is life-changing. You feel the weight of responsibility. You feel the privilege of belonging. You feel honored to be accepted as an American, not just because of the benefit or opportunities, but because freedom becomes something real, no longer just a distant hope. Now take yourself back to that moment, if you can. What were you thinking? What were you feeling? Were you focused on what comes with citizenship or on the reality that you had just made a life-changing decision? I'll leave you with that reflection.
The day you chose freedom and responsibility, you chose a nation. This is the promise you made. Listen closely. I hereby declare on oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen. That I will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by law. That I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by law. That I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by law, and that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God.
By the way, the meaning of that oath and what comes with it does not end on the day you take it. It actually begins there. Now let's talk about a word that makes people uncomfortable: assimilation. Assimilation, simply defined, means adapting to the norms, values, civic expectations, and cultural practices of a society one chooses to join. Not by erasing identity, but by learning how to live fully and responsibly within it. It is not losing oneself. It's not abandoning one's culture. It is not betraying one's identity. Assimilation is adding a new chapter to one's story, one that honors both the heritage a person carries and the new home they have embraced. But there is the truth. Too many of us underestimate the importance of assimilation. We want the opportunities America provides, while holding tightly to the center of gravity of the world we left. And sometimes we forget to step into the identity we chose when we became citizens. Assimilation is not just about the immigrant, it is also about the society that receives the immigrant. And for many, the journey is complicated by messages, mixed messages, subtle or direct, that say, you're not from here, you don't belong, you're not really an American. Discrimination, stereotypes, and social exclusion creates barriers that make assimilation feel like an uphill battle. When the world around you questions your place, assimilation becomes not just a process, it becomes a negotiation between identity and acceptance. And yet, the covenant we enter through the oath of allegiance remains. Citizenship is not dependent on others validating us. It's about how we choose to show up, even when acceptance is inconsistent. I've been told many times, you're more American than Ethiopian. At first, I didn't know what that meant. Was it a compliment? Was it a criticism? Was it a misunderstanding of my identity or simply sarcasm? But over time, I realized something. Assimilation is not a betrayal, it is an alignment. It means the oath I took is visible in the life I live. I didn't lose Ethiopia, I gained America. Both identities can coexist fully, proudly, and without contradiction. And when I say both identities can coexist, I'm not talking about dual citizenship in the legal sense. I'm talking about identity, the emotional truth that you can honor the country of your birth while fully embracing the country of your choice. Here is something worth reflecting on. In many of our communities, even after a lifetime in America, when someone passes away, the family chooses to return them to the land where life began. Even in death, we return. Let me be clear. Returning in death is not a rejection of the country in which one has spent a lifetime. It is simply a cultural way of honoring where the story began. It does not mean we failed to assimilate, but it does invite an honest question. Does it reveal something about how we see ourselves or how we are seen? For some, returning home in death is a reminder that origin remains powerful, that belonging has layers, and that assimilation does not erase where we come from, nor does it have to. This is the reminder. We carry two homes within us, two histories, two emotional geographies, and all of them are real to us. And perhaps it helps to remember this. There is the identity God gave us, the one we were born with, and there is the identity we chose, the one that carries an oath. One identity shapes our story, the other shapes our responsibility, and both can coexist without contradiction. In the Bigger Than Minnesota video, we talked about accountability and public trust. But here's the part we need to expand on. The oath of allegiance is not activated only when scandals happen. It's not selective, it is not situational. It calls us to speak up consistently, not only when it's safe, live with integrity, not only when convenient, protect public trust, not only when our community is under scrutiny. Citizenship is not just a legal status, it is daily conduct. Now, before I close, I want to leave us, the immigrant community, with a sincere question. Have we truly assimilated? Or are we afraid that assimilation means losing the identity we came with? Assimilation is not erasure, it's an expansion. It is letting your roots travel with you, not trap you. So maybe the real question is this. If we have embraced America as citizens, have we also allowed America to embrace us back? Assimilation is not about losing identity. It's about letting identity grow wide enough to hold both worlds. We do not lose ourselves in assimilation. We discover how far our identity can reach. Thank you for watching. Remember, use your voice to make a difference and never to silence others. I am Mamay, and this is Independent Voice. Until next time, God bless the United States of America, and God bless us all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Don't forget to subscribe. God bless.